more recently, he's getting more independent, just kind of going for it and feeling confident
Sebastian.
to just explore on his own.
Good boy. You're on the move, Bob. All right, let's go. Nice. You have to know. Go take a nap. Night, night, Papa.
Over the years, I've watched hundreds and hundreds of babies crawl. One of the things that I found out, to my surprise and my frustration, was that a baby who could demonstrate that it could crawl on Monday would not be able to crawl on Tuesday or Wednesday or Thursday, and then could crawl again on Friday, and then not Saturday, Sunday.
Hi, baby.
So this raised the question of whether there's a long period when a baby can't crawl, and then like turning on a light switch, all of a sudden now this baby can crawl. Does it really work like that? Well, the only way to know would be to observe babies every single day and see whether you turned on the crawling switch. This is my daughter Lily when she was a baby. And she was in my diary study, and we tracked babies from when they were born until they were about 18, 20 months old. We asked parents to track every little skill that babies might display on the way to being able to crawl. This whole file is Lily's data. So in March, Lily took her first crawling steps. So on March 19th, she did a combat crawl, and then we never saw it again. And on March 28th, she did a belly crawl, and then not again until April 1st. Now Lily is doing a whole variety of little sort of crawling steps of different types of crawls. Sometimes they go away, sometimes they stay for several days in a row. We learned that crawling is incredibly variable and incredibly creative, and that every baby's trajectory looks different from the other babies. The whole idea of motor milestones, where there's a kind of orderly progression. First babies can roll, and then they can sit up, and then they can crawl, and then they stand, and then they cruise. You know, it's been in the literature for a century. In every pediatrician's office, in every parenting book or magazine, it just really doesn't happen like that.
One toy. He's just done the same voice you made. Or noise. Yeah. Oh, get your balance right. That is brilliant.
Our findings show that there really is no sort of steady march from one stage to another. Success. From whatever, lifting your head up and then all the way to walking.
Good, strong legs.
Sebastian.
Instead, babies are acquiring their skills in different orders, and skills are sort of appearing and disappearing and reappearing, and then bit by bit, babies gradually make their way toward walking.
He's on the move and there's no sort of turning back. I don't think he's going to crawl. I think he's completely missed that stage.
Seeing other babies crawling and getting places, there was a bit of a thought, oh, it'd be nice if Pascal could do that. But once we got the feeling that he wasn't going to crawl, it was just, all right, just let him stand up.
Watch your head.
On the table. Whoa. Where is it? There we go.
He's just decided, no, I like standing up and I like moving around this way, so I'm just going to continue like this. No. No.
Yes, yes.
No? It's just evil eyes watching him all the time. Make sure you're grabbing something that you shouldn't grab. Hey.
It's really important for parents to know that crawling isn't mandatory. It is not an obligatory stage that babies have to do before they begin walking. And so if your baby decides to crawl, great.
What's that? It's free.
And if your baby finds another solution for getting around, like bum shuffling, great. And if your baby decides to just wait and get up and walk, that's also great.
Good cruise, good cruise.
Yes. Reach. Oh, okay, closer. Good boy.
Babies all develop in their own way.
One hand.
So just relax and enjoy and watch your baby's beautiful development.
Nå, lille søde Sebastian. Hvor er du sød. Hvor lille Sebastian.
Where's the rocket? What does the rocket do?
Zoom.
Yeah, it goes up, 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 and away. There's the button.
Get ready to press it. Fingers out.
Get
Finger out.
ready. Yeah, excitement.
Something quite magical happens at the end of a baby's first year.
Wow, look at that. This funny.
Every one of them embarks on their own journey toward language.
You say space?
That's correct.
Babies start learning about language before they can walk, often before they're even crawling.
Is it up in the sky? It is. There it is. Correct.
Allowing them to enter into a world that would be unattainable without language.
Nå, lille
I
Sebastian.
think that would suit you.
Human language is sophisticated and complex, allowing us to have poetry, fiction,
There's lots and lots of people that make it. So see all these little bits?
including the ability to transmit this huge repertoire from one generation to another, to another, to another, to another, and what makes human civilization possible.
Oh, into the space shuttle! Watch your head.
And then you ask the question, how do they learn language?
That's the escape hatch.
So that they too can be part of the stream of human civilization.
Ej, du skal da ikke gabe, Sebastian. Så smitter det jo. Nå skal du lige kysse lidt for din mor. Nå, skal jeg kysses? Det var da meget sødt tanke, du havde der.
This one? Boing.
Okay, so his stuff is packed.
I definitely see him watching us make noises and him trying to grasp what we're asking him to do.
Do you want to put your ball in here? In there. Good boy. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Let's keep it a drive.
Should I put the address on?
Nah, that's good. I know where we're going.
Nå, lille
It must be phenomenal what is going on in
Du
their
er meget
brain.
lille din alder, lille Sebastian. Hej, darling.
It blows my
No,
mind
I'm
that
a
you
baby.
can learn a language when you don't even know what a
Jeg kan da ikke
language is.
tunge, vel?
We've got lots of
Du er
things
ikke
to
det, jeg
say.
så, vel?
Okay, arm.
It's pretty crazy that a child's brain can do that.
You gonna come out?
When I was in college, I was headed toward being a musician. And I guess I was lured by things like psychology and the study of language. So one day I'm just sitting at the pool and seeing these kids at play. And this little girl comes out of the pool and she is so upset. She's about 3, I guess her brother's maybe 6, and he has a whole team of folks in there playing with this big red rubber ball. And she begins to tell her mom how upset she is that she wasn't included in the ball game. But she did so with the sophisticated grammar and language skills of an adult. And I thought, my gosh. I think that we have aha moments. And the aha moment in the pool was to say, wow, look at what these kids are doing so early on with language. I wanted to understand that.
So this little fella? Yeah. Should we go in there? What's in there? How you doing?
Hey, buddy. How's it going?
You good? Yeah.
It's actually taken for granted that we're going to know how language must work because we do it every day, because we're surrounded by it every minute.
Sebastian.
For the babies, it's just a flow.
And that pool? I've never pool guy.
And they don't know any of the words yet.
Grounding through chances.
Think of what that baby needs to do to crack the system. They're hearing the melodies of speech as if it just is ongoing all the time in the environment.
Where it can go.
The real question is how they can dig into this flowing sound source, these ribbons of melodies. How do they get in there, carve them up, so that they can eventually solve the big problem of mapping sound to language?
He's getting better at sort of communicating with us, and we're getting better at understanding what the noises actually mean. The tone or the way that he says it sort of says a lot more than the actual noise that he's making.
Dada. Dada?
Yes.
Who's that?
Yes. Ready?
If you listen carefully, symphonies have embedded melodies, and the same melody keeps cropping up. And the same thing is true in language. Language has its own kind of sounds. When we want to ask a question, we go up. And when we want to make a statement, we can see that I have a harsher kind of pattern and tone, and then it goes down. So I wondered whether noticing those melodies could be one way in which babies could break into the sound stream and find the units of language, the words, the phrases, and the sentences.